But I deleted the footage by accident, so we're gonna redo this. Okay, I'm a reader. I'm doing a bookshelf tour. Let's go. Behold, my camera that won't focus. These are not going to be a description of the books, just the books themselves. Let's go. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. The Sea of Monsters. The Titan's Curse, in the newer edition covers. The Last Olympian. I am aware I am missing the Battle for the Labyrinth. The two wonderfully dark Series of Unfortunate Events starter books, Bad Beginnings, and The Reptile Room. We still got more to go. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Azkaban, not band. The Hunger Games, and Mockingjay, part of the Hunger Games series. Next I have the first, third, and sixth book in the Artemis Fowl series, Artemis Fowl, the Eternity Code, and Artemis Fowl, the Time Paradox. Next I have the Jedi Academy trilogy. They're worn out because I got them from a not Barnes & Noble, a yard sale. So I have Jedi Academy, Return of the Padawan, and then Jedi Academy, The Phantom Bully. AKA New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and this isn't really Return of the Jedi. But these two are pretty much like the others that I just mentioned. And next I have all these Goosebumps books. So let's get cracking. Goosebumps, Night of the Living Dummy, A Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, A Night in Terror Tower, my favorite of the novels, One Day at Horrorland. The reason why it is so worn is because it's the one I've read the most. How to Kill a Monster, The Blob That Ate Everyone, Cuckoo Clock of Doom, How I Got My Shrunken Head, Monster Blood and Attack of the Mutant. Then I have Give Yourself Goosebumps, which is the Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps spin-off series. TikTok, You're Dead. Then I have 4 out of 6 of my what was I saying? Yeah, 4 out of 6 of my John Green books are here because I lent Looking for Alaska to a friend, and Let It Snow is in the other room, which we'll get to the other room in a second. An Abundance of Catherines, my favorite of his books, Paper Towns. The most popular of his books, The Fault in Our Stars. On an unrelated note, I also have The Fault in Our Stars film. And then his newest novel, Turtles All the Way Down, which was published and came out in 2017. Then I have The Gospel According to Peanuts. Then I have This Star Won't Go Out, the memoir of Esther Grace Earl. Then I have the Twilight books, so let's get to that. There's Twilight, New Moon and Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn, which is the final book in the Twilight series. Next I have what I believe is all of the Eragon books, but I'm not quite sure. I have Eragon, which contrasts the fact that the others are all paperback by being a deluxe sleeve-covered hardback. Eldest, Bryce Singer, and then the fourth and I believe last one in the series, Inheritance. And then Zombie Chasers, Empire State of Slime, and Nothing Left to Ooze. A very old, worn-out copy of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, an even older copy of Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, which is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's unwanted and unneeded sequel, but it's still a good book, and one of the greatest books of all time for little kids to be read to and older kids to read is The BFG. Freedom Crossing, a book about a white girl who helps a slave she finds. That one book you had to read in English class, but you only remember because of the Disney movie that came out and the series that followed afterwards. Mein Kampf, Adolf Hitler's memoir, translated by Ralph Mannheim. I'm pretty sure this is just a French version of Romeo and Juliet, because, balcony, dude, creepy teenager, pretty looking chick on the front. It's definitely French Romeo and Juliet. Haven't read it, but it looks cool. Watership Down, Richard Adams. Natalie Babbitt, Tuck Everlasting. 2 books in the Ender series, Ender's Game, which is a masterful novel and an awesome movie, and then Xenocide, which I have not read yet. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, my favorite all-time novel, which I have had since 6th grade, and I've read almost 5 times a year since then. I memorized this entire novel, and I've read it so much that it's missing a cover. The Help by Catherine Stockett. The Status of All Things, which is a really cool idea, but I still have yet to read it. Lift for Undead by L.A. Banks. I Even Funnier, a sequel to I Funny, which is an awesome book, and this is too. Great for kids and even older people. Gary Paulson's The Time Hackers. Next I have 6 out of 16 of the Priest mangas. Here are 3 of them. This is 1 through 6. And then these are the other 3, which are 4 through 6. The other 3 were 1 through 3. The other 3 were 1 through 3. I think I said 1 through 6. The Giver by Lois Lowry. Miss Frisbee and the Rats of Nim by Robert C. O'Brien, aka The Secret of the Nim book. No, it's just Secret of Nim, but still. The Goats by Brock Cole. And then Life of Pi by Yann Martel. So that is the, I forgot what I was saying. My, book collection in the spare bedroom, so now we're going to go into my room. It's a bit of a mess, by the way. This is the mess of my another shelf. Let's go. We'll start with this, and then we'll quickly just name drop these Stephen King books. I only got maybe 1 since I last uploaded that video of my Stephen King stuff. Let's go. The Essential Stephen King, the ranking of the greatest novels, short stories, movies, and other creations of the world's most popular writer. Algebra 2, which technically does not really belong to me. It belongs to my little brother. To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah, I know my light's a little bright, but anyway. 13 Reasons Why by Jay Ashner. Orange is the New Black. The Netflix tie-in edition, kind of. Red Riding Hood. Number 1 in the Sailor Moon series. The Lost Boy, a sequel to A Child Called It. The 2 books I don't really want to name. The Lord of the Flies by William Golding. Potty Mouth and Stupid by James Patterson. The Talisman by Stephen King and Peter Straub. Bag of Bones by Stephen King. Desperation, but without the sleeve. Mr. Mercedes and Finders Keepers, part of the Mr. Mercedes series. Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. Full Dark No Stars by Stephen King. It by Stephen King. Just a side note, this book is fucking huge. If you're looking for a specific number, it's 1,157 pages. If you count the acknowledgments, 153. If you don't count the acknowledgments. Dolores Claiborne by Stephen King. Stephen King's Under the Dome, the CBS television tie-in edition. From a Buick 8 by Stephen King. Stephen King's Everything's Eventual without the sleeve. Stephen King's, or Richard Bachman, which is his pseudonym, The Regulation. The Stand, also a huge ass book. Danse Macabre, with a picture of King on the front. I just realized that looks a lot like King when he had a beard. The Drawing of Three. Then we have Children of the Corn and Skeleton Crew, which are 2 short story books. Cujo. Gerald's Game. This one's incredibly disturbing. Stephen King's Blaze and the Tommyknockers. And Misery. The Pet Cemetery. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. 4 Past Midnight, another short story book. This one has The Langoliers and Garden's Secret Window in it. Needful Things, a Castle Rock story. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Other Tales, Washington Irving. Michael Crichton, Dragon Teeth. Jesus, that looks familiar. The Polar Express, but without the sleeve. The Hobbit, but part of the cover was torn off. Well, all the cover was torn off, but you know how it do. You know how it do. Quidditch Through the Ages. A Bear Called Paddington by Michael Bond. Return of the King, the movie tie-in edition. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lorene Miracle. The Ugly Truth, Diary of Wimpy Kid. You can't see it because the entire thing's white. Let me pull back. There we go. It is the 5th book in the series. That's what that is a 5. Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. Wind in the Willows. My mom's old copy of Bridge to Terabithia by Kathleen Patterson. The Bourne Identity. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Double Fudge and Super Fudge, all by Judy Blume. Those 2 in the Fudge series, which were started off by Tales of a 5th Grade Nothing. The School of Assassins by Jack Nielsen Pallmeyer. The 2 Pop Tropica novels. In a Dark Room and Other Scary Stories. This is a bit of an older book. The Call of the Wild and White Fang by Jack London. Tuesdays with Morrie. Chocolate Fever. The Andy Capp comics. They're really good. The Worthing Saga. I Am Sacagawea. The Indian Cupboard. An Accidental Adventure, Part 1. And I have various comic books. Batman Rebirth. Batman Rebirth. Batman Rebirth. Batman Rebirth. Batman Rebirth. Ghost Gwen. Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider. Issue number 8. Batman Rebirth. Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles. Big Trouble in Little China meets Escape from Batman Rebirth. Hit Girls spin-off from Kick-Ass. Ruse issue 10, I believe. The Walking Dead issue 1. Forever for a Year by B.T. God. Struck by Lightning by Chris Colfer. Oliver Twist. The Fellowship of the Ring. Bill Geist, Way Off the Road. The Day I Wore My Pants Inside Out by Jay Tucker. A Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Love Don't Live Here No More by Snoop Dogg and David E. Talbert. The Ship Who Searched by Anne McCaffrey and Mercedes Lackey. A Dog's Life by Anne M. Martin. Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. Charles Dickens' The Old Courtesy Shop. Dracula by Bram Stoker. A Midsummer Night's Dream and Other Comedies by William Shakespeare. Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Part 1 of the Titanic series by Gordon Corman. Killing the Shadows by Val McDermid. Jim Carrey Unmasked by Rory Trakin. Hamlet by Shakespeare. Track of the White Wolf by Jennifer Robinson. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare and the West Side Story script. A Girl Aboard the Titanic by Eva Hart. Nancy Drew, The Secret of the Old Clock. Glynis, Before and After. Translated copy of The Neverending Story. Buddy. The 2 Star Wars books I own. Tough Shit, Life Advice from a Fat Lazy Slob Who Did Good by Kevin Smith. Marley and Me by John Grogan. Princess Bride by William Goldman. Flying Solo. I Am Legend. The Bible, King James Version. The Book and Lyrics for Dear Evan Hansen. Dan Brown Inferno. The Time Machine by Hugh J. Wells. And last but not least, Thomas Harris. So that is all of my books. Well, the majority of my books. Some of my books I can't find, some of my books I don't have right now, and some of my books are not with me at the moment, like where I am. So yeah, that's some of my books. Let me know what you think of my collection. Let me know some of the books that you've been wanting to read that I have. Let me know in the comments. If I am currently actually in the process of reading this for you all. I've actually recorded a few videos of me reading it. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!